Coach, I know for the players this is a really exciting day. What's it like for the head coach?
You know, in the past, I really didn't like the first day that much because I always thought it was fake. You know, it was everybody practices hard the first few days. But now with the rules being loosened up as they are, we get more access to them in the summer and the fall. It's kind of a day where you mark it on the calendar, and you know the games are in sight now. You know, because of having 42 days or 30 practices before the first game. So there's definitely a different bounce in our step today.
Can you talk about the growth you guys have made this offseason as a team and as a program?
You know, I anticipated us being highly motivated after the loss to Auburn, and we weren't disappointed. We had a great summer. Our guys worked as hard as they have since we've arrived. Unfortunately, this fall, we really got banged up. We had a lot of pretty serious injuries, nothing that anyone's going to miss games. If we were in the middle of the season, we'd be missing multiple games. So that's kind of been a drag, but we're getting back healthy as we speak, and you know, I think everyone's excited by the fact that we're getting back to full strength.
Obviously, last year you guys talked about a lot, like the big rotation, 12 players. Do you see that happening again this year, just with all the talent you have coming back?
You know, obviously every season unfolds as its own chapter, and it remains to be seen. You know, right now, today, you know, I try not to pigeonhole guys and think about who's starting and who's playing. We got so much practice time to evaluate our players, and they have so much time to impress us that. But I tell them, hey, if I trust you to put you in the game and the score is going to go the right direction, then you're going to play. And last year we had a bunch of guys that could do that. And right now, today, I would anticipate us playing more guys than the average team does. Will we play as many as we did last year? You know, that remains to be seen.
Coach, this is the first time you've had a lot of your support, like people coming back. Is it? I mean, I don't know if it's easier, but what differences is it? Are there any new challenges?
It's less stressful. You know, it's the first time in a long time for me as a head coach where I didn't have to teach every set from scratch. You know, our terminology was familiar with the most of our guys, which was not the norm for me in my head coaching career. So it was more of a stress-free summer, fall that way, and it was more enjoyable. You know, it remains to be seen if it'll help us on the court, but certainly for our staff, it was more fun having that many people back.
Coach, a lot of good transfer right now in the mix. Just how much are you looking forward to seeing them mesh with the team?
Yeah, it's always interesting to see that gelling time, and you know, it happens all year long. You know, there's not a date or a time where you know you anticipate it happening more than not. But you know, we got a great culture. We got really good kids in our program. The thing that sticks out to me the most from being in this game for 28 years as a coach is they truly love each other. They work for each other. They're there for one another. They compete their butt off every day, but they come together on game night, and I don't see why it would be any different this year. So they're a lot of fun to coach this group with.
I think obviously your expectations are going to be high pretty much year in, year out, but just everything you do have coming back the way last season ended, do you feel like there's higher expectations for this team?
I think so. We've talked to our guys about it already, that I think for the most part, every team we're going to play is looking at this game as a big game for them, a chance to, you know, make a statement, if you will, and we're not shying away from it. You know, if I stood here today or any day for that matter and talked down about our team and talked about being an underdog, most people would look at me and roll their eyes, and so we're not shying away from it. On paper, we have a ton coming back from a team that won a lot of games, and so we should be good. And we're not shying away from it in our locker room as well, and we're talking about the expectations that we have. But again, with as mature a group as that we have, I think we'll handle it well.
Do you think the guys kind of relish that having target on their back too, just kind of being the hunted, I guess you could say?
We'll find out. You know, I don't know. It's definitely the. We've had more expectations probably early this season than we have since I've arrived anyway. So that remains to be seen. Hopefully they will, but you know, we never know.
Talk a little bit, Coach, about getting Sean Williams into the program and what he can bring to your rotation.
Yeah, we picked up Sean Lee. We had the open scholarship, and we were thrilled that he joined our program. Obviously, he's got a body of work at the Division I level. He was able to score the ball at a pretty high level in a really good conference. Unfortunately for their team, they win a ton of games. So hopefully, he'll continue to transition to our culture, the expectations that we have. But he's definitely a weapon. He can shoot the ball, he can score the ball. He just continues to try to learn our system, our culture, and playing defense and rebounding, the things that we ask him to do.
Does he bring anything that you didn't have last year?
Not really. Right now he's probably more of the JoJo Zamora role. We hope that he'll expand to be more of a complete player. He was never known as a defender, rebounder, tough guy prior to coming here, and we're trying to get him to be a two-way player, if you will. And he's making strides, little by little, and hopefully he'll get there before the games roll around.
What do you expect from Trev Queen this year?
I expect a lot. He's got a lot of talent. He had an interesting year last year with being eligible mid-season, something I had never experienced, and you don't really have a blueprint for it. So he was way behind. He didn't have the summer or even most of the fall to learn our system, our terminology, etc. And then it was almost a surprise when he became eligible. So it was a crash course for him. But as we look back, it worked out really well for all of us because at the end of the season, when we needed him the most, he played his best. So I think the comfort level for him will be much better this year. I think he has high expectations for himself to have a great year as well.
See him potentially, maybe being WAC Player of the Year. Is that on the table for him?
I'm not smart enough to know that, man. I have no idea.
You guys never really needed that one guy go-to scorer last season. I think Trevelyan has shown at the end of the year he might be able to, but do you look for someone to step up into that this year? It doesn't even matter what you guys play.
I just don't think about that stuff. I really don't. I tried every day to do my part to prepare for practice and help my team in any way that I can, but how the games unfold and how the roles unfold, they just do organically. We don't slot people in to be a leading scorer or a big shot taker. It just happens. Fortunately for us I think we have a number of candidates again that would be willing and able to step up and make big shots in crucial parts of the game. But I really don't believe that it'll be a situation where we have one guy that everybody knows we're going to down the stretch, which is kind of nice, when you look at it from my perspective.
Coach, how important is the non-conference portion of your schedule and getting off to a good start?
Yeah, it always is. We try to schedule aggressively, and we put together a really good schedule again in our third season. We'll have many opportunities to play against, Power 5 teams. Certainly, the rivalry games are huge for us and our fan base, and I know, UTEP and New Mexico are both going to be really, really good this year, and so we'll have our hands full with those games. So certainly like to get off to a good start. We're no different. But I think for us, that's an opportunity to, get more national coverage, to kind of make a ripple or a splash in college basketball with trying to beat those Power 5 teams, and we're certainly going to try it again this year.
You guys got obviously so close to doing it last year, but do you feel like this is the team that can maybe finally get over the hump and win an NCAA tournament game?
Man, is it September?
Yeah, you gotta ask though, right?
Yeah, you can ask, but I don't have the answer. We're just trying to win today, man. We're just trying to get better today, and but at the same time, I don't shy away from it. Certainly, since that loss, we've had to do different speaking engagements, and we talk about how we've got to overcome that obstacle, if you will, and but it's not something that we talk about daily around here, and we probably won't talk about till at least February or March next year if we're fortunate enough to be in the conversation.
The expectations coming from that talent on your roster, though. In your coaching career, have you ever been a part of a team pre-season where you've seen this much talent on your roster?
Oh, for sure. I was at Wichita State, as an assistant, where we had Final Four teams, undefeated seasons. So, I've been around talent, been around expectations. So I think that helps me, educate these guys on how to handle themselves.
Of course, pigeonhole people in certain rotations this early, but it does seem like Yvonne is going to have a chance to embrace a really bigger role with having graduated. Just how much are you looking forward to seeing him kind of take on that opportunity?
Yeah, he'll have a chance to secure, major minutes and be a pivotal guy in our rotation because of Eli's departure and his experience. And the biggest thing with him is just staying healthy. He's been injured off and on since he's arrived. He plays a little reckless at times, which I love, but I don't love it when he gets injured. So, but hopefully he'll stay healthy, and if he does, I think he'll have a very good year.